Looks like she doesn't have much to say these past couple days. Should I be concerned? Everyone marching out single file. There we go. Anyone left in here? No? Alright, cool. Alright, pretty decent harvest today. Not a lot going, but, it's alright. All our eggs, yeah. Good shit. Let's go ahead and sell off all the mayonnaise and all the cheese we've accrued. Cheese, mayonnaise, cheese, turnip, truffle, truffle, claw. Yeah, cool. Good stuff. There we go. Ooh. Nice. Do. Wow, finished literally everything I need to do at 9 o'clock. Fair enough. Tell you what, let's see if we can chop down some trees. I don't think we need the horse for it, actually. It might be more of a burden to bring the horse along, if I'm being honest. There's no real need to. There we go. Ah, shit. gonna need a lot of wood if we're gonna upgrade or build some. Because I'm being real quiet, chat, but there's really not much to say. The plan right now is to build a little shack, not a shack, but a shed rather, where we can craft and keep all of our kegs. Because I definitely want to make more of them. In fact, what do I need to make more kegs? I'm thinking copper, iron, and oak resin. We don't have a lot of any of that, if I'm being honest, but it'll be alright, chat. So now we're gonna head over to Robin's house, see what's cooking over there. If she's working today, I think she might also be closed on Wednesdays. I'm not sure though. I don't know. I could have gone through there, but I figured I could just go here without having to worry about any stragglers slipping through and escaping. But Buzz, I thought you said it was okay if they escaped. Yeah, well, I don't want the pigs to escape, really. Because if the pigs escape, then I'll have truffles lying around on the farm, literally everywhere, and then I won't know where they are, and that'll bother me. All right, yeah, literally all of this stuff can go, except the wood and the sap. That's we'll hold on to that. Oh, I didn't even notice we had this. Okay, cool. Toss both of those into the loom, and then I think we need stone, yeah. There we go. Oh, man. Where would we even put this? I'm curious. I don't think I'll know until I get her to show the layout to me. Make house renovation. No. Shop, construct farm buildings. What do you have for sale? What is it? Insert a piece of hardwood to break it down into regular wood. I'm not sure why I would ever need this, because regular wood is real easy to come by, but hardwood is quite expensive. Ooh. Interesting. Might have to grab that at some point. I think we'll buy that tomorrow or the day after. We should make enough money by that point to be able to afford that. But anyways, let's see. Oh, tell you what, we should be saving our cloth for this, because then we can toss in all of our unmilled rice and get that working. Need a lot more wood for our shed, unfortunately, and yeah. All right, cool. And tell you what, let's actually go ahead and move our current well. I know we don't really need it, but we could always move it somewhere like here, right? Yeah, that looks nice. I like that a lot, actually, yeah. Cool. Definitely need more wood, though, so. What's up, basically? How you doing today, brother? Welcome back to stream. It's good to see you, man. Glad to have you. clay and copper bars. Got a lot of stuff we need getting done, chat. A lot of stuff we need getting done. I mean, if we're here already, it might not hurt to go into the mines. See if we can farm up some more copper. Again, that's going to be another bottleneck for us, because right now, we don't have much copper, we don't have much iron. It's going to be a bit, not difficult, but more tedious to proceed if we don't have either of them, you know? And tell you what, while we're here, we might as well spend some of our hard-earned cash and upgrade our weapon. Come on. Now, you might remember the Adventurers Guild. I think we popped in here once and then kind of just said, you know, we kind of forgot about it. But, ooh. Oh, this is from ages ago. I really don't need any of this, to be honest. Tell you what. Shop. I read that as Iron Dick, and I was like, what the hell are you selling in here, bro? Ooh. Any of this good? I might grab the Emerald Ring, honestly, because if I remember correctly, the best weapon, or the second best weapon in the game... Wait, 55 to 64. What does my weapon do? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is much better. So tell you what, let's go ahead and get this now. 2,500 there. Or 25,000, rather, yeah. Pretty expensive. I think I do want that ring, though. I think it was the Jade Ring? Or the Emerald Ring, yeah. There we go. The first thing I played on as a kid was the PC. When I was like 4 or 5, my grandparents gifted me a little computer. Me and my brother played a lot of games on that thing. Mostly educational stuff from what I remember, but yeah, man. I PC, and then when I was, I think a couple of years later, one of my uncles got me and my brother a PlayStation 2, which was fucking awesome, dude. My first console ever was a PlayStation 2, and I loved it to death. I still do, low-key. Like, I've considered getting a PlayStation 2 just to kind of relive those memories, but I feel as though some things are better left off as memories. I don't want to play it today and be like, wow, this game is kind of ass, you know? That's always a concern of mine. It's like, damn. That shit was good. Let's leave it in the past. Iron. Yeah, I'll leave you guys back there. You're not hurting anybody. Yours was the PS2. The PS2, like I said, man, is a solid platform. Probably... No, I think the 360 is my favorite platform. Or at least back in the day. Before I built my computer, I think the 360 was my favorite gaming console. I was a huge Xbox fanboy. And then I think I lost track of Xboxes after the Xbox One dropped. I was like, cool. Then it was like the Xbox One X, and then you got the Xbox Scorpio, and then I was like, okay, well. PlayStation keeps it simple, because a guy like me can't keep up with all these newfangled Xboxes and whatnot. PlayStation says PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and surprise, surprise, PlayStation 4. Xbox went a little crazy. Don't be like Xbox, Chad. Keep it simple. Now, what kind of games do you play on? What kind of games do you play on the PS2, man? I played a lot of like Spider-Man, Friend or Foe, Crazy Taxi, all that shit. God, there was another one I'm thinking of. Some Spyro too, if I'm not mistaken. Though I think that was my sister's game. No, I know for a fact it was my sister's game. Not a lot of iron down here, is there? No. Not a lot of copper either. GG's. Now PS5? Nice, dude. Those shits are hard as hell to get a hold of, dude. Especially with the whole silicone silicone chip crisis. Yeah. Congratulations. Did you order it online or buy it in person? For your safety, I hope you bought it online, because folks in real life tend to get a little grabby when it comes to the PlayStation 5. From what I've heard, at least. I've been lucky enough to never, you know, hold one in public. Who's got the PlayStation 5? Get him! No! No, this is a PlayStation 3, I swear! It's a refurbished model, no! Tough luck, bozo. And they all stomp on me and take my PlayStation. That's true pain, chat. That's true pain. Wow, we didn't even get a lot of stone from that. That is tough. Played a game where you were where a trolling you played different mini games in that game on the PS2. Oh, nice. So I had a couple games like that on PC. I can't quite remember them though. Like I said though, they're most likely educational because it was like I don't know, man. Just played a lot of educational shit when I was a kid. Trying to get my brain big and strong. Big and strong. Ooh, that's the pale ale done. Poggers. There we go. Let's go ahead and toss this in here. Now that's fine. Toss that in there. Sort. In here can go the diamond, the truffles, the pale ale, the sap. Yeah, we'll keep the bolts of cloth for now. I do want to keep the frozen geode, though. That is something we need. There we go. Holy shit. 30 grand in one day. Oh my god. So that basically paid for both the katana and our new ring, so that's good shit. Where's Penny? She keeps dipping out early in the morning. She might be in one of these other rooms, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, no, she's in her... Oh, she likes to be in the library on rainy days, yeah. I always wanted my own library. This is so charming. Yeah, it's real nice, I can imagine. Everyone's going to be inside today because it's raining, so we just go ahead and close that down. Hello, everyone. Everyone's kind of keeping themselves. They're a little unsure of the rain. That's fine, guys. Don't worry. Hello. I like keeping them all indoors. That way I can be certain that I've petted all of them. Because if you don't pet all of them, then you don't always get Iridium tier quality items from them, you know? You want to keep all their hearts up like this. You want to fill them up like that. That way they give you the best items they can. Which means you make more money. So it's a win-win, you know? Alright. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff. Go ahead and close that up. I think what I wanted to do, actually, how do I make more lightning rods? Iron, refined quartz, and bat wings. Let's go ahead and... Let's go ahead and coal. Oh, we don't even have enough copper. That sucks. Iron. Tell you what, I think what we'll do is we'll use the iron we get here to, Oh, we can't even do that because we need copper to make casks. Damn. That's tough. You pre-ordered the PS5 on the internet? Smart move, my friend. Alright, toss that in. There. I thought we had more eggs than that. Oh well. Boom, boom. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, bop. Oh, shit. That actually took me by surprise. The lightning in this game sounds scary as fuck sometimes. Let me be completely honest with you. Ooh. Ancient seeds. Help me, please. Satellite of old, reveal to me your access code. I'm telling you, bro, this kombucha slaps. I don't even know what it is. It's like, apparently it's like freaking, oh shit, 5? Nanda kode. Is Hugo? I'm gonna look that up real quick, actually, because it sounds really familiar. I don't think I played it, but PS2. Oh yeah, I definitely saw this at GameStop once or twice. Growing up. What was it rated though? That's the real question. That's gonna determine whether or not the reason why I didn't get it. 3+. Oh, okay, so I was definitely within the age demographic. Because there were a couple of games I wanted when I was younger. When Far Cry 3 came out, and I was like, oh my god, this game looks awesome. I showed my dad, and he was like, sexual themes, drugs and violence, alcohol. And I was like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I get it now. I'm not getting it. Don't worry. I'm putting it back. Don't worry about it. What's up, Lars? How you doing today, brother? Welcome back to stream. It's good to see you, man. I'm glad to have you on. Welcome aboard. Let's go and grab some fish. Favorite game as a kid? Nice, dude. 1, 2. Now we'll keep the sturgeon. We'll keep the crab too, I'm thinking. Yeah. Satellite from days of old, reveal to me your access code. It's such a good show, man. I was watching Cowboy Bebop earlier while I was cooking, and I was like, man, I love the show. It's so good. And everyone was up in arms about the live action. They're like, the live action is the worst thing that ever happened. It was like, this is terrible. That's the craziest thing, bro. Like, I get it if you don't like it, but I don't understand why people complain about it. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it was perfect. There were a lot of things I would have changed about it. And a lot of things I would have probably edited if I were, you know, in any position of power to do something like that. Definitely some things I would have done differently. But the thing is, the fact that this exists doesn't take away from the fact that the original also exists. So, I don't know. It's always weird to me that people like to, you know, complain about that and be like, oh, man, they ruined Bebop. And I'm like, just watch Bebop. That's the craziest thing. They didn't take away the animated one. You know, why did I say that so weird? They didn't take away the animated one, so just go watch that. You can critique it, obviously, but the way I heard people critiquing it, at least, it was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I remember Death Note being pretty awful. For those of you who've seen the live-action Death Note movie, man, that shit was putrid. Like, I am very open to changes and shit like that. Taking liberties in some areas to appeal to other demographics, but Death Note, the live action, was absolute dog shit, man. I have never seen... I don't think I've seen anything as bad as Death Note live action. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And unfortunately, what sucks about that is the guy that got to play L, he really liked it. He really likes the source material. So I don't know, man. It's like, after a certain point, you kind of see that these people, like Netflix and shit, are just doing it for cash, because they know people will keep watching it. And then they'll make their YouTube videos explaining and debunking why it was terrible, and which drives more people to come and see if it's as terrible as they say, and it's all about money for them, you know? You legit just wait a whole hour on TikTok? Yeah, I've been there, dude. I remember yesterday, so it was either yesterday or sometime this week, and I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going to get on TikTok for like 5 seconds, do a couple of swipes, and I'm good. I looked up. I kid you not. An hour and a half had passed, and I was in the exact same position I had laid in when I first started. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time to put this down and reevaluate some things. Hey, girl, what's good? I had dreams of marrying you for such a long time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, enough of that. What is live action? So basically, in this instance, it's like taking an anime, like Cowboy Bebop, Naruto, or Death Note, and doing a movie with real life people. So instead of it being animated, you've got actual people doing these, playing the characters and all that good stuff. Which doesn't often work for anime because a lot of the charm in anime comes from the fact that it's animated, you know? Because you're able to do a lot of things with animation that you can't do in real life. Namely, Radical Edward comes to mind. And that's another thing, dude. I feel so bad for the person they got to play Radical Edward. Because, spoiler alert, at the end of the live-action Cowboy Bebop, they, well, it's not so much a spoiler because she's in the anime, but she's non-binary in the show, I think. But anyways, it doesn't matter. All that to say, I feel bad for the kid they got to play Radical Edward, dude, because, like, I'm pretty sure this was their first acting gig. Right? They're 13 years old. They're so psyched to be playing this character everybody loves in Cowboy Bebop. And as soon as their scene airs, everybody is just shredding it. I mean, tearing into it. And I remember watching and I was like, this isn't... I don't think... Because I watched that scene a couple times, and it's like, it's weird camera angles and stuff, and... I watched that scene a couple times, the introduction of Radical Edward. And if you don't know, Radical Edward from Cowboy Bebop is the eccentric child hacker, right? She makes sure... She handles the tech side of things for the crew members, right? But, like I said, she's very eccentric. She's very weird. She's a weird character. And that doesn't translate well from animation, to live action. And that's because her character in the show, she was moving her arms a lot. She spoke in very strange ways. And was like, she was very weird. And that's part of the charm. That's not a bad thing. I just don't think it translated well to live action. And they did they did them dirty with the camera work too, man. Like they had, I think it was more poor direction because the kid they told to do Radical Edward, they said, all right, we need you to act exactly like the anime character. Which I think was a mistake. Because, like I said, that doesn't always translate well to live action. Because what looks fluid and kind of funny in animation will look really awkward and out of place in live action. You know? Radical Edward is a she? Yeah. So, Edward isn't her real name. It's like a name she chose because she's a strange character. She's like, my name is Edward Pipaluxi Travlosky III, something like that, something outlandishly eccentric. When in real life, when in reality, I think her name is something a bit more feminine. Let me look it up. Radical Edward. Radical Edward. Yeah, her real name is Francois. Her birth name is Francois. But she chose Radical Edward because she was like, you know, I like Radical Edward. So, you know, I watched and I was like, I think the kid did... everyone was shitting on this kid like, oh my god, this is so cringy. Look at the hair, look at all the... I'm watching, I'm like, this kid did exactly what they told her to do, or told them to do. I apologize. The actor is non-binary as well, and I want to respect their pronouns, but... This kid did exactly what the director told him to do, you know? And it's a shame that, you know... The last thing anyone's going to remember about that character and the way this actor portrayed that character is how, like, literally everyone was shitting on it. And yeah, it was a little uncomfortable to watch, but I don't think it was the kid's fault. That's all I'm trying to say. It was cringy, yes, but not because of the kid. Yeah, Yeah, they changed a lot in live-action Cowboy Bebop. Like, for example, I think my biggest issue with the show was definitely how they handled the main antagonist, Vicious, and the love triangle between the antagonist, Vicious, and the protagonist, Spike, with their mutual love interest, Julia. So, in the show, the anime, Spike, the main character, he leaves this gang, the Red Dragons. It's like think the live action or the real life equivalent of the Red Dragon would probably be the what's that one Japanese gang called? Ah, God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Something else I'm gonna look up. Japanese gang. The Yakuza. All right, so the Yakuza. So he basically leaves the space equivalent of the Yakuza. He fakes his death, and he's like, to his girlfriend at the time. She's, dating Vicious and also, sleeping with Spike. He's like, yo, come with me. But she doesn't. So he leaves the gang, and, they're not too happy about that, but, He leaves, and for 3 years he wanders around with his friend, Jet Black, and they hunt bounties in a ship called the Bebop. Now, Vicious in the show, he only appears in 4 episodes, right? He appears in the 5th episode, Ballad of Fallen Angels, the 12th and 13th episodes, Jupiter Jazz Part 1 and 2. No, I scratched that. He appears in 5. And then the last 2 episodes he appears in are the Real Folk Blues Part 1 and 2. In the anime, you can tell that Vicious is very reserved. He's a quiet, calculating character. He's evil. But the thing is, he's like evil. He's evil, but he's competent, I think is what I'm getting at. He's evil, he's competent, he's calculating, and he's a killer. Nobody fucks with him because they're not long for this world if they do. Now, in the show, he's kind of portrayed as like this blustering, I never. I'm making all these noises because that's what blustering people do in TV shows. Anyways, he's almost incompetent. It's kind of funny how they changed his character, and I don't know, that it really did rub me the wrong way, because Vicious, while he's not one of the best, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's one of the best anime villains of all time. He's a very one-dimensional character, I'll say. Vicious is very one-dimensional in the sense that he wants power and he's going after that, but it's not the main focus of his character. He shows up only when the plot needs him to. He does what he needs to do and he gets out. In the live action, he's there almost every episode, and it sucks because, again, they wrote his character so poorly. Oh, cool. They wrote his character so poorly that every time he showed up on screen, I was like, oh man. Was not a fan. And Julia ran away too, but she didn't run away with Spike. In the live action, she was in an abusive relationship with Vicious because the two of them were married. They weren't married in the anime, but they were married in the live action. Which is weird because I think that did a disservice to her character. She only showed up in a few episodes in the original source material. But when she did, she was like, she could handle herself. That's the thing. She can handle herself. She can handle a gun. I think she got into a shootout in one of the last episodes. She was like handling the shit out of that car in a car chase. It was really cool. But in the live action, she was like this kind of helpless damsel in distress, and it was kind of just like, I don't know, man. They did her character dirty. They did a lot of characters in that show dirty. No, scratch that. They only did Vicious and Julia and Radical Edward dirty. Okay, so a couple of them. Your girl always up earlier than you? What am I popping the question? What question would that be? The marriage question? Because, buddy, we are already married. We got married a while ago. I think she's probably gonna ask me about kids soon, because, spoiler alert, chat, you can have kids in this game. There are no sex mini games for those sick ones thinking of that. I don't think anyone was thinking of that, but just in case there were, there are none. What do we have here? Another thing I noticed about live-action Bebop, it's a lot less subtle than the anime. The show will explicitly tell you things as if you can't figure it out yourself, which has always been an issue of mine in a lot of TV and movie mediums. It's like, I don't know, it feels almost condescending, because it's like the writers of the show or movie don't expect me to be smart enough to figure some of this stuff out on my own, or to like remember things from certain episodes. Be like, oh wow, thinking back to that, that's why this character reacted that way, you know? No, they'll just explicitly tell you how the characters are feeling, why they're doing this. They don't leave any of it, like, up to the viewer's interpretation, or they don't allow the viewer to infer any of it on their own. You said that's a divorce about to happen. Fuck them kids. As soon as she's asked for kids, I might say no, honestly, because the kids are kind of weird. They don't really do anything. They don't really add anything. They grow up to toddlers, and that's about it. Not a whole lot going on with them. Oh god, I guess we're gonna have to talk about Death Note now. So for those of you who are unaware, Death Note is an anime about a guy named Light Yagami. He's a 17-year-old high schooler from Japan who stumbles upon a notebook, and whoever's name he writes in that notebook dies. I think if he leaves their name, if he writes just their name, and he leaves it for like 8 minutes, then they die of a heart attack. But it can also specify the time and date of their deaths, and the how too. So he can, you know, for example, be like, blah blah blah, 5 p.m. something something, or 5 p.m. the next day, heart attack, and then they die 5 p.m. next day of a heart attack. It's a pretty cool concept. I really enjoy the anime, and I highly recommend checking it out if you like thriller, mystery, paranormal type shit. It's probably one of the best anime I've ever seen. No, I know for a fact it's one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's exceptionally good. The live action, not so much. The live action is kind of terrible. It's... I was gonna say it's hard to pinpoint why, but again, it's an issue with the writing. So firstly, the live-action Death Note takes place in, I think, California, which is weird, but I guess they want to Americanize it to, like, increase the... I don't know, man. I guess they wanted to, like, make Americans feel like, you know, oh, cool. This happened in America. Whoopee. But anyways, Light's this, like, whiny little 17-year-old kid in California. He's kind of a weirdo, honestly. Like, in the anime, he was, like, super popular. Everybody liked him. He was good at sports. He was smart. He was clever. Popular with the girls. This guy was weird. Like, the Light in the live action was weird. And he wasn't... I think the biggest problem was the fact that Light in the live action, or the live action adaptation, he wasn't smart. Because there's this super detective who figures out that, hey, a bunch of people have been dying. I need to figure out how this is happening, because nobody else knows about the Death Note but Light Yagami and the demon that's working with him. Not a demon, a god of death, a Shinigami. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll just call it a demon. Now, this demon is like, yo, listen. You can write anybody's name in this and they'll die, but here are the causes and conditions, you know? Basically, here are the rules. So as this demon's helping him out, they figure out this super detective is after them. So the rest of the show is Light trying to not get caught. And you believe it, because, like, over the entire course of the show, you're like, okay, I see how he hasn't gotten caught. Because I can hear his mind working. I can see how the wheels are turning in both of their heads, both his head and the super detective's head. Super detective is named L, by the way. So I can see, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's taking this long for him to get caught. Or it makes sense as to why L is doing the things that he's doing. In the live action, Light is so incompetent. I'm surprised he didn't get caught until, like, the end. And I'm sitting here like, this dude is fucking stupid. They did my boy Ryuk well. I did think Ryuk looked pretty cool in the Netflix adaptation, though. That was really cool. They're supposed to be doing a One Piece live action too, but I don't really watch One Piece, so that's not really an issue for me. Or rather, it's not something I'm super invested in. Though I'm sure someone's gonna watch and be like, "This is trash," and I'll be like, "Probably, yeah." You're watching Greenleaf right now. It's produced by Oprah. Cool. I guess you gave up on Riverdale then? I think we put Riverdale to rest with their fucking, what was it? Sacrificial offerings of children and all that crazy shit? Yeah. She acts in it too. Nice. What's it about? Is like an autobiography or something like that? Oprah has a lot of autobiographies now that I'm thinking about it. I feel like she's gonna pop up in chat, be like, actually, Buzz, it's just one. Well, I was mistaken, Miss Oprah. I apologize. She'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Don't let it happen again. We'll both laugh. She'll be like, I'm being dead ass. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Just a new episode every week. Gotcha. And again, I think we'll just head to bed now. Now, but what's Greenleaf about, dude? I don't think I've even heard of it. Splendiferous.